Dear Mr. Popstar, this is Derek and Dave Philpott. If you don't know who Derek and Dave Philpott are, then head over to the Beat Goes On Facebook page where you'll find a link. And I'm quoting here from the unbound.com funding page where they're on for their new book, Dear Mr. Popstar. It says, for nearly 10 years, Team Philpott, as their followers fondly refer to them, have been on a quite bonkers crusade, writing good old-fashioned letters to pop and rock stars, sometimes even sent to their home addresses with prior consent, either picking up on genuine ambiguities within their lyrics or often deliberately misunderstandings for comic effect. The letters are eminently publishable in their own right, mixing sharp wit, confusion and mundane daily chores with trips to the shops, daytime telly and Derek's leg playing up. An unarguable logic in relation to questioning the offending chart hits under scrutiny. I've got the first book. The first book was called Dear Mr. Kershaw, which was crowdfunded. And it's an absolutely fantastic read. And I was very excited to hear that they've got a new one coming out. I spoke to Dave at the weekend, and this is what we said. So is Dave Philpott the interview? So we got Dave Philpott from the book Dear Mr. Kershaw, and there's a new book coming out called Dear Mr. Popstar with bigger and better and more fantastic names and whatever. We have talked about it before on the show. So Dave, welcome to The Beat Goes On.
Very nice to be here, Steve. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And tell me a little bit about the book. Tell me what made you start writing pedantic letters, or made your father start writing pedantic letters to pop stars?
Well, I'm a music obsessive. Okay, the short story is that because my dad's a pensioner and doesn't really understand, the level of how big some of these artists are, he would say funny things about the pop records. It started at a wedding years ago. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, it's hard to explain, but because my dad doesn't know the difference between the Rolling Stones and some band playing, in their shed down the road, he would just comment on the lyrics. And I thought, this is just so funny. Okay. And we put a website together and just chucking these letters into cyberspace, thinking that was funny enough. And then one day, one of our Facebook friends, Colin, said, Peter Hamill from Van de Graaff Generator has read your site. He'd be agreeable to a reply if you did him a letter. And then we thought, my God, this could actually be an interactive thing with us talking to the artists. And then years and years later, we got to the point where we just got consent from everyone and just published it. That's it.
That's fantastic. I mean, I've got the first book, and it's a superb read. It's called Dear Mr. Kershaw. And like I said, we featured it before on A Beat Goes On, and you think some of these letters must take you hours to write.
Yeah, they do. I shouldn't say this. In the first bit, we were so grateful to get these pop stars on board that we would spend hours and hours and hours doing a letter. But now we've got to the point where we've got such a notorious reputation, it would just take us 1 or 2 or 3 hours to get it done because we know they're going to reply. But you're right, yeah.
And it's all entirely fan-funded as well, isn't it? I mean, this is not a corporate thing, this is just you and your dad.
I spoke to a fan about this because we've got a massive Facebook community, Steve, in that all of these pop stars are secured not by us going through management, but us going through friends of friends and roadies and such like. And a lot of those people say to us, if this was a corporate thing where it was manufactured and you could all get to the pop stars easily through management and you were a couple of journalists, nobody would buy it, okay? Yeah. This is genuinely me and my father, and we are just two ordinary guys. Dad's retired. I work in care homes as a singer, as I said to you. There's no hidden hand here. And we wanted to keep it so that it was crowdfunded, so that firstly we could write what the hell we wanted.
Absolutely.
And second, it stays nice and cottagey and very indie. That's the whole beauty of it.
Yeah, I mean it's very punk rock, isn't it? I mean, it's it's like do it yourself,
When we did the first one, a lot of the punks said to, because we had a big punk sort of input into the first, but the punks said to us, what you're doing is very, very similar to what we did in 1977, in that you've gone behind the man, and you're not using conventional publishers, and you're sticking two fingers up in a way. and saying we're going to do it ourselves because you didn't want it.
Yeah, I came across it on Facebook. I've got a friend called Peter Edmonds who plays in a band called the Spellcasters, and he'd shared one of the replies, and I just thought that's fantastic. So I clicked like on the Facebook page, and Derek immediately sent me back a friend's request, which I liked, and he said, "I'm not posh, I'll take anybody."
That's right. What we tend to do is that we react. If somebody likes something, we'll say, "Well, just come and join the fun,"
Mm-hmm.
And people say, "Oh, I can't believe that Derek's actually talking to me." But me and my dad just say, "Well, why wouldn't we?" It's just a little community,
I think it's fantastic, and the new book is is up for crowdfunding right now, and I would suggest that anybody who's listening to this program in particular, I mean, because we're the only thing that matters on this program is the music, and if you're into the music and you're into the lyrics and you're into these bands and you want to know a bit more about the artist than just what you're getting from the corporate media, then buy the book.
With the first bit, we did it through Kickstarter, so we literally had 1,000 books delivered to the front room, and we did the envelopes ourselves and everything. It was absolute enjoyable hell, and we said we'd never do it again. With this one, we've been picked up by a company called Unbound, and this is the bit I really need to get across.
Yeah.
Unbound are a platform whereby you submit their idea, and if they think it's a brilliant idea, they allow you to use their platform. Okay? Now, by raising this money, where we differ from the first book is that we had to do all the publicity ourselves for the first one. We had to get all the interviews. It was very, very, very hard work. This time, when the book reaches target, when it's out, we've got a distribution deal so that a trade edition goes out through Penguin, and it will be in bookshops, and we will have a PR team and we will have a publicity team behind us.
And who have you got? Who have you got in the new book?
Oh dear, you wouldn't believe it. We put a Facebook update yesterday about who we had, and people just just didn't believe it was that prolific. So we've got Starship, Tears for Fears, the Eurythmics, Reckless Eric, Doctor and the Medics, Dean Friedman, the Ruts, the Bonzo Dog Band, Devo, Melanie, Alana Miles, Ian Gillan, Was Not Was, Cutting Crew, It Bites, Mott the Hoople, Fuzzbox, Men Without Hats, China Crisis, Mental as Anything. There's another 40 here.
That's fantastic.
And we're still waiting for a few replies to come back, which is definitely happening. And then we're going to close the book and get it done.
So, if people want to actually go and get this book or to help fund it, where can they go?
You go to the Unbound website, and it is unbound.com. Mm-hmm. /books/ Dear Mr. Popstar. That's Popstar 2 words.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So
if you just Dear Mr. Popstar, you're going to find it because our presence is massive at the moment because it's trending a bit.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, Dave, thank you so much for speaking to us, and we're now going to play a couple of songs, and I'm going to have a look at the first book and maybe give you a hint of a letter out of the first book,
okay.
And do like I said, do support this because I think it's fantastic. So thanks very much for talking to us.
Pleasure, Steve. Take care. I'll speak to you on Facebook.
Okay, mate. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.
Well, there you go. That was Dave Philpott talking to me last Saturday morning. So yeah, unbound.com, and what you can do is you can go there and pledge. Hang on, let me change this. Where are we? Yes. Going to GBP because I'm in France, you see, it's all in euros. So yeah, I'll tell you exactly how you can get this. They're 68% funded, and that was when I spoke to them, they were 59% funded, and there's a guy called Morris Thomas who brought them immediately up to 68%, and through one donation. So well done, man. That's you deserve a mention as well. So yeah, if you want to buy the digital book, it's a tenner. If you want to buy the hardback, it's 15 quid. If you want it signed, it's 20 quid. If you want 2, it's 30 quid. That's digital books. And if you want that's hardbacks. And if you want 2 signed hardbacks, it's 40 quid. Or if you want a signed hardback plus a copy of the first book, Dear Mr. Kershaw, it's 40 quid. So from a tenner, you can help support this, and I would urge you to do so. Now, one of the big contributors in the first book was a Mr. Fish, and here he is.